Hello guys, today's just going to be a quick video about the recent addition of fans back to football stadiums for the first time since March, so it's been a long time coming. But as we know, it's not going to be full capacity stadiums. I think we're still quite a while away from that. I mean, I've heard articles saying that potentially you might have to wait till next summer till we go back to normal life, so if that really is a lot of element of truth in that, then I think, full capacity stadiums is still a long way away. But, on the other hand, the vaccines seem to be coming out soon, and obviously depending on your opinion on it, if they actually work and stuff, then we could be back to life sooner than that. So that's what I'm hoping for, and I think everyone else is as well, of course. But I'm not going to get into politics and all the news side of it. I'm just going to get into the football side, so let's get into that now. With this comes restrictions. So there were 6 matches in the Championship where they had fans allowed back into stadiums. So for Wycombe and Luton, they were actually only had 1,000 fans in theirs, because I think it was to do with the capacity of their stadiums, because as you know, their stadiums aren't as big as some of the other Championship teams or even the Premier League teams as well. So for the other 4 teams, they were allowed to bring 2,000 fans into their stadium. Now these would be teams which have tier 2 in their area and not tier 3. If it was a tier 3 city where the game was being played at, there'd be no fans allowed. Now no away fans are allowed to go to matches if they're from a tier 3 area. So the where I get confused is, say if you're an away fan and you support a team which is in tier 3, so they can't go to away games, but say you are from a different area of England and your area is in tier 2, does that mean that you can't go to the games just because your team's in tier 3? If that's the case, I think that's very unfair, and I think it doesn't really have much logic to it either, because on the other hand, you could say that you could be supporting a team which is in tier 2, but you're from a tier 3 area, but then you could probably go to the game because your team's in tier 2. One good bit of news is if you want to buy alcohol, you don't have to buy a substantial meal. I mean, I don't really know how you're going to, because you don't really get substantial meals anyway at a football match. I mean, if you had a salad with a pie, I'm sure it'd count, but yeah, you never really seen salad at a football match. But in terms of an actual team playing with the crowd, I didn't watch any of the live games yesterday. I was watching the Champions League instead, but I saw the highlights on YouTube of the Luton versus Norwich game. And, Luton actually had fans, and I didn't realise it before I was watching the video. So when I saw it, I thought, wow, it's actually a real shock just seeing fans there, because I know in the Premier League this week is going to be the first week, but in terms of the Championship, I thought it might be the start of the weekend as well, not the midweek games. But I didn't realise till Luton scored their first goal, and then you suddenly heard a cheer, and it was just a massive shock. And, it was nice to see. It seems sort of alien in a way to see it, because we've been so used to seeing no crowds for almost 9 months now. I think that could be a big help in terms of people's seasons, and I think it showed in the game yesterday. Luton are mid-table side at the moment. Norwich, even after the game, top of the league, and Luton won the game 3-1. So, results happen. Doesn't always go in the way of the favoured team, of course. That's football. But you could say maybe it's coincidence that because they had the fans back, they would have won anyway. But I think it could make a big difference, especially the start of this introduction, because players have played for 9 months now without fans. So it's definitely going to be a bit of a shock for the away team, and it'll definitely be a boost for the home team. Now, in terms of the benefits it brings, I think it brings massive benefits, especially for League 1 and 2 and the conferences, because if you think about those sort of teams, they don't rely on TV money, especially the conference. I mean, in League 1 and 2, you get the occasional game on Sky Sports, but that's once in a blue moon. And for your top 6 teams in the Premier League, they do rely on TV money. Of course, the top 6 have lost money on merchandise, on ticket sales, on, food being bought on the ground and whatnot, but that's a smaller impact than their TV money as an income. And for teams in League 1 and 2, that's their only income, basically. So I think for them, it's going to be a great introduction, and they would have been missing their fans like mad, like everyone would, of course, but I think they needed it a lot more. But of course, it's not guaranteed for those teams, because some of them may be a knockdown due to them being in tier 3. You do have to say it's slightly unfair, though. I mean, of course, if you're in tier 3, then the city's in more danger of the coronavirus outbreak. But you could argue, in a stadium which is so large with such a more amount of people, it's going to make much of a difference anyway, when you think that, in lockdown, you can still go to supermarkets anyway, and that's a pretty packed place. And even though you've got your masks on and stuff, you're still in close contact with people, because there's not really many people, regulating how people will go about their shopping and stuff in the supermarket. And the difference with the football is that, yes, it's not essential, so I can understand, but at the same time, you're gonna have experts there. The club is going to make sure that social distance is in place, so you'd have people stopping you from intervening with other people anyway to stop a spread. But let's just hope, of course, that everyone goes into tier 2, so at least everyone gets some fans. I mean, for my team, we're not going to have fans for now, and hopefully that'll change soon, because it'd be great to see fans all around the world. And I think it'd be it'd almost be a bit of jealousy, and if you're going to an away game as a team and you see they've got home fans, but then you go home next week and you've got no fans to play in front of, it just seems a bit unfair. It's kind of out of our hands as the public, and we can only just wait and see what happens. But let's just hope the start of something. It's good. It's a good stepping stone. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Let me know if you're actually going to be able to go to any games due to what tier you're in, and even if you can go to the games, if you manage to get your hands on some tickets. And until next time, guys, take it easy.